Hello, everyone. I'm Simon Preston, and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary. This is the platform where we come together to discuss everything in relation to Jamaican football. This is your hub for everything Jamaican football related. Now, the excitement has started, and you might wonder, what is that you're referring to? Well, it's in relation to the Gold Cup itself. Absolutely. Some compelling results have taken place over the last few days, and I know many people have been very intrigued by the results, and we're going to go through that in this video in particular. Now, it's funny because if you look at the venue where these games are taking place in Fort Lauderdale, I originally thought it was the DRV PNK Stadium, but it's the Drive Pink Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. As you know, Fort Lauderdale, the region that has Sunrise, that has Plantation, that has Pembroke Pines, Miramar, Weston. Fort Lauderdale is Little Jamaica. It's Little Jamaica until you get to like Central Broward Regional Park, where the cricket stadium, and across from there you have this restaurant called Joy's, and then you're getting into the Trinidadian neck of the woods. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how things are from that sort of standpoint. But let's go right into the results that took place and who could Jamaica play in the group stages of the Gold Cup itself. Well, that is something that we're going to look at this point in time so that you're fully aware about things as well. So these were the results from the first round of matches. Guadeloupe, well, they recorded a 5-0 victory over Antigua and Barbuda. Now, as you guys know, it's Guadeloupe has a mixed piece of history when it comes to Gold Cups. In 2007, it was Guadeloupe's debut appearance at the Gold Cup, and they made it all the way to the semi-finals. On debut, they made it all the way to the semi-finals. Yes, remember the journey that they had at the Gold Cup itself? They defeated Canada by 2 goals to 1. They drew with Haiti in their first game. They defeated Honduras in the quarterfinals, and they took on Mexico in the semifinals. So Guadeloupe has had quite a passage. 2009, they went to the quarterfinals. 2011, they were there as well, but they haven't been able to replicate the 2007 run in more recent editions of the Gold Cup. Antigua and Barbuda, they've never qualified for the Gold Cup. This is the closest they've been to date. They fell 5-0 to Guadeloupe. Martinique, they defeated St. Lucia 3-1. Martinique, the furthest they've been in a Gold Cup was the quarterfinals in Gold Cup history. St. Lucia, they've never been to a Gold Cup. They've been third in the Caribbean Cup, and that was 1991. The next set of teams, Curacao and St. Kitts and Nevis, arguably the biggest shock of round one of the qualifiers. Curacao, a team that made their Gold Cup debut in 2017, and a team that went to the quarterfinals in 2019 after defeating Honduras by 1-0, went to the quarterfinals, took on the US. 2021, we know COVID hampered the team and they couldn't participate. But St. Kitts and Nevis, it's the Sugar Boys. The Sugar Boys are through to the second round of the qualifiers. St. Kitts and Nevis, they've never qualified for the Gold Cup before, but they're one step closer. French Guiana, they've qualified for the Gold Cup a few times. Well, we remember 2017 quite vividly, don't we? 2017 finished third in the Caribbean Cup. Florent Malouda and company. I went to the Gold Cup itself that year. We're in the same group as Canada as well. They defeated St. Martin by 4 goals to 1. So that means that Jamaica will face one of St. Kitts and Nevis or French Guiana. So Jamaica's group will comprise of either 4 Anglophone-speaking nations or 3 Anglophone-speaking nations and 1 Francophone-speaking nation, French-speaking nation in French Guiana. The other 2 matches, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico defeated Suriname 4-3 on penalties. 3 of the 6 games in the first round went to penalties. That's right. Puerto Rico 4, Suriname 3. And guess what? Puerto Rico have never been to a Gold Cup before. Suriname Were there 2 years ago. And finally, Guyana, Grenada. Guyana took the lead. Grenada equalized late. Match went to penalties. Guyana 1-5-3. And it's funny because Neil Dans, you guys remember Neil Dans, Leicester City, Tranmere Rovers, Macclesfield, born in Liverpool. He talks a little about like this, you know what I mean? Like Steven Gerrard and Jamie Carragher and Trent Alexander-Arnold and players love that nature. You know, like Jason McAtee and players love that nature. They talk a little bit like this, you know what I mean, when they come from that part of the world. So here I got Stephen Duke McKenna as well. He was also born in Liverpool, but he has Guyanese heritage. So Guyana, we saw them in 2019, picked up a point against Trinidad, didn't they? Yeah. And now, what are the matchups for the second round coming up on the 20th? Guadeloupe against Guyana. So either Guadeloupe or Guyana will be in the Gold Cup. Either Martinique or Puerto Rico. And either St. Kitts and Nevis or French Guyana. So, 2 Anglophone-speaking nations, 3 Francophone-speaking nations, and 1 Hispanophone-speaking nation left within the tournament itself. Puerto Rico, Martinique, that's going to be quite a contest itself going into the tournament. Guadeloupe against Guyana. Guyana hoping to get back to the Gold Cup for the first time since 2019. St. Kitts and Nevis, French Guyana. St. Kitts and Nevis have never, ever qualified for a Gold Cup. So it could be a situation where you could have 2 new teams at a Gold Cup, Puerto Rico and St. Kitts and Nevis. But let's see. Let's see how all of this sorts of pans out. And the teams that will be at the tournament itself: Qatar, Panama, Jamaica, El Salvador, Mexico, USA, Haiti, Costa Rica, Canada, Honduras, Cuba, Guatemala, Trinidad, and Tobago. Yep. And this is Jamaica's 13th Gold Cup appearance. 1991, 1993, 1998, 2000, 2003, 2005, 2009, 2011, 2015, 2017, 2019, and 2021. So, quite a bit. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content.